The statesman went to discuss the peace treaty at Versailles, armed only with 19th century prejudices. The idealism of President Woodrow Wilson would soon be shattered by the harsh practicalities of his European partners. They were determined that never again would the Germans have the opportunity of ravaging France. The treaty dismembered Germany and its allies, the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Ottoman Empire. These large and powerful states were to be broken up so that the various ethnic groups they contained would have their own separate countries. Unfortunately, however, this checkerboard of small independent nations would prove to be too weak to defend itself against an embittered and vengeance-seeking Germany. Instead of healing old wounds, the Treaty of Versailles only succeeded in creating a new discontent.
Germany had to accept the full responsibility for the war, including the actions of its allies. This came at a heavy price. Germany was the only country that had to accept full responsibility for all the damages and crimes of the war, and even all the wrongdoings of its allies, such as Italy and Austro-Hungary. It came at a very heavy price for the Germans. Instead of accepting the Germans as victims just like us, we made them pay for all of the damages caused throughout the war and buried them deep into debt, putting them in a very vulnerable position. One of the most insulting terms of the Treaty of Versailles was the requirement to give Poland access to the sea, which would split Germany in half and turn the German city of Danzig into a free city. Danzig was also a predominantly German-speaking city, which added to the chaotic nature of the term. France demanded terms that would have completely deindustrialized and demilitarized Germany. Germany lost so much due to this treaty. Almost total loss of her colonies, her overseas connections, her mercantile marine, meaning most of her subs and ships were either scuttled or scrapped. Her foreign properties, by the cession of 10% of her territory and population, 1/3 of her coal, and 3/4 of her iron ore. Germany had 2 million casualties among men in the prime of their life, the starvation of her people for 4 years, by the burden of vast war debt, the depreciation of her currency to less than 1/7 its former value, and by the disruption of her allies and territories. German propaganda had been announcing for months that their soldiers were very close to victory through much of 1918, although that was very far from true. So when Germany officially surrendered and defeat was publicized, it must have come at a very big shock to the people of Germany. France's constant desire for revenge alienated its allies and sparked radical political movements in Germany. Many suspect France had been seeking revenge against Germany since the Franco-Prussian War, where they suffered a harsh defeat. France's obvious lust for revenge pushed them further apart from the rest of the Allies and also led to radical movements to pop up in reaction to it in Germany. In return to France's harsh terms, many radical German ideals rose and helped start the rise of Nazi Germany. The shock of defeat, coupled with the harsh terms proposed, carved a lasting mark in the German psyche. This unexpected defeat led to the famous stab-in-the-back theory that was utilized by Hitler. The shock of the loss of World War I and the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles left the Germans feeling betrayed, and it was used by Hitler to increase the anger of the Germans towards the Allies and make them feel as though it was like a stab in the back. The way the Allies went about the end of the war and the terms on the treaty created a negative relationship with the heartbroken Germans and was later used by Hitler to help spread the terror of the Nazis and brutalize the nation. Militias formed against the terms and helped unstable the country more, and a weird combination of the militias and a new political party led to emerging communist and national socialist conflict. These militias commonly combined with far-right political parties, leading to a vast influx of radical parties in Germany. The National Socialist Party used widespread anger about Versailles with the economic collapse of Germany to come to power in 1933. They took advantage of the state of chaos that the country of Germany was in and used radical ideas to rise to power. All in all, the treaty put Germany into debt and bankruptcy, and also into a state of being that was worse than the war itself, which made it seem to the Germans that peace with the Allies was almost worse than war, and it also led to the rise of the Socialist Party and World War II.